From under the stairs to stardom, a family heirloom's shocking revelation. Every so often, a story comes along that reminds us of the hidden treasures lurking in our own homes. Maybe it's that old chest in the attic, the dusty box in the garage, or, as one lucky guest on BBC's Antiques Roadshow discovered, a rather intimidating bowl tucked away under the stairs. This isn't just a story about a valuable object. It's a tale of family history, forgotten heirlooms, and a moment that changed everything for one unsuspecting owner. Picture the scene. Tredegar House in Wales, a magnificent estate filled with history and a palpable sense of anticipation. Hopes are high, and the air is buzzing with the potential of life-changing discoveries. The show's expert, Duncan Campbell, is waiting to examine a new set of items. But nothing could have prepared him, or the guest, for the remarkable story and shocking value of a single, intricate bowl that had been relegated to a humble spot under the stairs. The guest brought forward a truly striking piece, a large, ornate bowl covered in what seemed to be a swirling mass of intricate carvings. The very design of it was commanding and perhaps a little bit intense. Campbell, with his keen eye for detail and history, immediately honed in on the piece. He began the conversation with a touch of good-natured humor, asking the guest if they kept the bowl on their dining room table. The guest's answer was perfectly relatable. He admitted that the bowl was usually kept out of sight, stored under the stairs. It wasn't because it was ugly or unloved, but simply because it was one of those family items that you appreciate but don't quite know what to do with. He described it as quite attractive in a scary sort of way, a description that resonated with anyone who has inherited a piece of art that's as compelling as it is a little bit unnerving. The intricate details, which included what looked like coiled figures and fierce expressions, made it a statement piece, just not a piece for the kitchen table. This candid admission instantly made the guest incredibly relatable. We all have those things: a quirky lamp from our aunt, a slightly too large painting from a grandparent, that we cherish for their sentimental value but don't necessarily showcase. This was that exact moment, magnified by the glare of the TV cameras and the presence of an expert who was about to turn his world upside down. The guest shared the bowl's fascinating origin story. It had belonged to his grandfather, who was in the army stationed in the northwest frontier in the 1890s. The family believed that's where he acquired the piece, somewhere in what is now modern-day northwest Pakistan. This detail was the first clue that this wasn't just any old bowl. It was a tangible link to a rich and complex period of history. As the expert Duncan Campbell began his inspection, he revealed a new layer to the bowl's story, one that the family had never known. The piece, he explained, was actually from Kashmir. The elaborate design wasn't just random. It was covered in local symbols, including chinar and coriander leaves, all rendered with an incredible level of skill and precision. The aggressive-looking figures the guest had noticed were part of this beautiful and culturally significant tapestry of flora and fauna. Campbell's expertise shed light on the bowl's purpose and history, revealing it to be far more than just a decorative object. He explained that the bowl's shape was based on a kashkol, a type of begging bowl used by the whirling dervish monks. This detail added a deep spiritual and historical dimension to the object, transforming it from a mere curiosity into a vessel with a profound story. He went on to clarify that while the shape had these humble origins, this particular piece was a grander version, a lovely centerpiece designed specifically to be sold to a foreigner, likely someone like the guest's grandfather. This insight spoke volumes about the craftsmanship of the time, where local artisans used traditional forms to create exquisite new pieces for a burgeoning international market. As Campbell continued to praise the bowl, the guest's anticipation grew. Campbell described the piece as much bigger than what Kashmiri silver is, and on a very grand scale, highlighting its rarity and quality. The date of manufacture, around 1890, lined up perfectly with the family's story, but the most crucial part of the appraisal was yet to come. Campbell noted that the market for Islamic metalwork had grown and grown in recent years, a clear signal that this was not just a historical curiosity, but a truly valuable item. He called it not only skillful work, but a really nice-looking object with some considerable value. That's the moment we all wait for on Antiques Roadshow. The expert pauses, the music swells just a little bit, and you can practically feel the guest's heart rate spike.